Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to do my February wrap-up. You know, I didn't get to read as many books as I would like to have this month. I think maybe I'm going to blame that it was a short month and it's also moving and a little hectic with the move, and so that's what I'm blaming it on, not myself. Why would I blame myself? It was a short month. Let's just get to it. So the very first book that I finished in the month of February was A Monster Calls. I don't have the I listened to this book on audiobook. Both covers here. I'm using the iPad, guys, you know, because it's easier than having to edit those pictures in. So I'm not gonna hold this the whole time, but we are talking about A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. A Monster Calls is about a young boy who is dealing with his mother having cancer. It was a very emotional book. It was very magical. I was listening to it on audiobook, which I recommend. The audiobook reader was wonderful. I would recommend this book for anybody who is going through loss, not even just the mother, but going through, you know, the loss of somebody with cancer. It was kind of just a beautiful story about a boy facing that and facing his emotions and how he should feel, and you know, he feels a little guilty, but then he feels, you know, relieved, all the different emotions. I don't want to say too much because the ending is really beautiful, and basically this magical tree kind of shows up in his room and kind of helps him navigate his feelings and get through this really tough time. But I don't want to spoil the ending. It's a very quick, easy, I listened to it, but it's a very quick read. I highly recommend it for anybody who's going through loss. I think it would be a great story to read to, you know, young children or children, teenagers, if they're also going through loss. But I really enjoyed it. It was very emotional. So it was a very emotional start to the month. The second book that I finished, and it took me a really long time to read, I think it was because I was in the process of moving, Secret History by Donna Tartt, which this obviously made the rounds on the booktubes. I go back and forth. Obviously, this is really well written. It's very dense. It's thick. I mean, the characters are all very well developed. It just took me a really long time to read because it has a very serious tone and a very intellectual tone the whole time. I mean, it's dealing with kids in college, and they're pretentious, wealthy kids in college. Kind of have an idea of what, you know, and I live in Nashville, and you have Vanderbilt kids, but we call them Vandy, like Vandy bros. I'm gonna first off say that I really liked this. I wanna say like it's a 4.2 for me. I enjoyed it. It was just a very serious for what I was going through at that time. I wanted to finish it because I was interested in seeing what the ending was and what happened to these characters, but I think it was the wrong time for me to read it because I was very stressed out with the move, and I was having some conflict with my previous roommate, and now I live by myself and I have no roommate drama, #no drama, mama. I don't know. Just the wrong time that I read it. And I might revisit it, I don't know. It took me a really long time to finish it because it wasn't one of those that I was thinking, oh my gosh, I have to read this now. But I pushed through it and I finished it. And pretty much, I'm sure everybody knows what this is about. It is like, you know, someone that was murdered and you know who did it, but you don't know why. It's a why done it story. It took me a long time because the tone was very serious the whole time. The parts that I really liked were learning about Bunny, the character who we know at the very beginning is murdered. I really loved learning about him, and I thought that he was kind of my favorite part, and I know people don't really like Bunny, but to me, I enjoyed learning about him as a character, and I thought that he brought a lot of life. For the one who got murdered, he brought a lot of life to the book. I mean, it leaves you on a cliffhanger too. Like, I have some questions about the ending, and I just kind of conclude what I think kind of went down at the end, but I thought the ending was pretty cool. But at the end of the day, I didn't relate to the characters because I don't want to give anything away. What can I say that wouldn't give anything away? They're not very good people. And even though they, you know, they have interesting plots and they do interesting things, still at the end of the day, like, you murdered someone. And like, that's not cool. And like trying to create reasons why it was okay in your mind is just not okay. So I think, you know, I wanted to like these characters, like, I wouldn't be friends with them, and if I heard what happened, I wouldn't go along with it either. No, I don't want to say too much. It's very complex, very intellectually stimulating. It's very thick, it's dense. If you're looking for something like that, then this will definitely be up your alley. Really enjoyed it. It kind of gave me some Holden Caulfield from our main protagonist. I don't know why but when I was reading this, it kind of reminded me of Catcher in the Rye and made me crave Salinger, which I'm going to get to because I did get to Salinger. So that was really cool too, that, you know, I haven't really gotten a touch back into Salinger for a long time, so this inspired me to want to read more Salinger. So anyway, A Secret History, I really enjoyed it, but I think it was a little bit too serious for the moment that I was in my life. But I finished it and I enjoyed it, and I'll probably revisit it because the ending is a little, kind of threw me through a loop, but it was interesting. But I don't know, maybe I just need to talk to more people who've read it and we can talk about the ending. But I did enjoy it. It was good. What's next? And this next one, I did a review about this book on my channel not too long ago. Roseblood by A.G. Howard. I gave this about a late 2-3 star. Wasn't the worst book I've ever read. I didn't DNF it, but it had a deal breaker in it that just kind of dropped it off for me. So if you want to know more about my opinions on this book, I'll put my review down below. Still keeping this book because it's freaking gorgeous and it's signed, but it was just a deal breaker for me. I dropped off. I really, really wanted to like this book. I really did. I really wanted to like you. I did. The fourth book that I read, yes, I only read 4 books this month because it was just a slow month for me. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I was talking about A Secret History and how I was craving Salinger, so I decided to read 9 Stories by J.D. Salinger. I love Catcher in the Rye. I love Salinger. And I went down a Salinger rabbit hole after that. So I watched the Salinger documentary, learned how freaking weird he is. He's just a very complex, odd man. And through his reading, like now that I have a better understanding of who he is as a person and kind of his life story and what, you know, being at war for 200 days in World War II and pulling bodies out of a concentration camp, like they said that he is crazy. Like if you spend 200 days in war, like you are crazy. So he wrote a lot of this while he was in the war and after, and now I'm reading these in a completely different way now that I know him more as a person. So I'm wanting to read Catcher in the Rye one more time because that is one of my favorites. I love his writing. Like I can literally read his dialogue infinitely. Like I never want his dialogue to end. And the fact that he can have an interaction with 2 females and I forget that it's a male writer. Like I just feel like he knows how to write females, which is that's talent. Like for a man to be able to have a female-female dialogue where I feel like that's not a male writer, that can't be a male writer. Like he's just talented. He's so freaking good. I can't stop reading his writing. It's so easy to read. I feel like the way that he structures it is exactly how I say things. So it's very easy for me to read. I could go on and on and on and on and on about his short stories, but obviously, as you can tell, this is 9 short stories. And he also has Franny and Zoe, and then the other one that's really long, and I don't remember, something, the High Beam. But I'm gonna get to those 2 because I am in my rabbit hole. My Salinger rabbit hole, it's happening. I love Salinger. That's why Catcher in the Rye was such a big sensation. He just gets to you. Like, you just get me. Like, I read his book and it's like, you get me. You get it. You get it. He's just so good. Why are you so good? So good. But the one thing, like they said that they were going to be releasing more Salinger until from 2015 to 2020. Where are those at? I need more, like there's going to be, like it said that there's going to be another Holden Caulfield short story and a backstory of his family and another one about the Glass family. And like, I need those. Like I need them. Like where are they? Like it's 2017. Where they be? If anybody knows where they are and I just missed them, please tell me. Those are the 4 things that I read this month. What are you gonna do? Next month, I feel very optimistic. Currently reading right now is The School of Good and Evil, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm on chapter 14 and I can't stop. It's so good. It's everything I want it to be. So hopefully it doesn't have a twist like Roseblood. I don't think it will. It's so good. So I'm probably going to delve into book 2 and book 3 because I'm seriously living this. So please don't disappoint me. Like, please don't disappoint me. That is a part of my hashtag middle grade March. I'm only reading middle grade in the month of March. If you'd like to join along, even if you read one middle grade and we can talk about it, then you are a part of the middle grade March. But so far, loving my middle grade March. I'm loving March, you guys. So I'm going to make a little side note about my book mug. What I did have in my book mug were just random books that I want to read. But since I'm kind of on a book buying ban, like I'm trying not to buy tons of books and I'm trying to get through my TBR, I scrapped all those and I just have my TBR in here. And if I have no idea what I want to read next, I pull it out and that's what I read. Because I am a very indecisive person, and once it's decided, it's decided. And so that's what my book mug is. I'm not going to draw one for this month for March because I'm only reading middle grade and there's everything in here. So I'm going to start this back up in April. Some of my favorite things that happened in February is that I now live alone in my apartment. I know I've been gushing about it, but it's been my favorite thing. I love being an old lady, living alone, cooking meals and drinking wine, watching shows by myself. No roommate drama. So nice. But I've been enjoying having, and I got a new table, guys. I haven't gotten the chairs, but I got a table. I'm moving up in the world. I've enjoyed having game nights and girls nights and people over. I've enjoyed it so much. And another thing is that I have officially declared my favorite liquid lipstick. I know this seems very silly, but I was on a mission, and the Sephora cream lip stains are just my favorite. Like, they last literally all day. You don't feel them. They don't crumble. They don't pucker up. Sometimes they give you some fine lines in your lips, but that doesn't bother me. They're just these are my favorites. $14. They just came out with tons of new colors. Go get them. They're the best. And then surprisingly, in our Owlcrate, we got this Midway mini donuts from thegeekfirelabs.com. This lip balm, and for some reason I've been obsessed with it. Like, I have all these really nice expensive lip balms, and then I get this one for free, and it's almost like, you know, I'm trying to eat better, and this just, like, at first, I mean, everybody was saying, oh, it doesn't really have that much of a scent, but if you put it on, you don't taste it. It doesn't have like an overpowering, like, fake taste to it. But you smell the donuts, and it's almost like there's a donut in the room, and if there's a donut in the room, like, I'm happy. It's like I don't even have to eat a donut, and I felt like I ate a donut. Or like, there's a donut in my office, and I'm instantly happier. So this has been, I mean, for some reason, I've just really loved this, and I'm probably going to buy more. I saw that there was like a Pokemon one on the site. Tons of like cool different flavors. I'm going to have to check them out, because for some reason, this has made me super happy, and I've loved it. Owlcrate's the best. Okay, so I'm still loving my bullet journal, and I've moved on and done my March, and I found, because I used to break down, you can see my progression here, so I would have my February at a glance, and then I would break it down by week, but then I'd find so much empty space, so then I would just clump up the rest of the month in here, and so I was like, you know what, so I just put all of them on here, so that I can make to-do lists per day and I can track how much water I'm drinking. And then I still have the books I've read and ideas for video ideas. And then here, these are going to be my notes for the School of Good and Evil, because I'd like to be better at my reviews and keeping track of my reading. You know, some of my favorite quotes, some favorite scenes that I really loved, my thoughts on the characters, the character development, character relations, because I would like to be better at my book reviews and post more book reviews because I enjoy reviewing books. So I want to have an actual system for that. And this cute little plant that my friend got me for my apartment. What are they? It's a mini iris. And it's already so cool. Can't wait till they sprout. But anyway, so that was my month of February. Let me know what your favorite thing was in February, or if you read any of these books, maybe we can chat about them down below. But I'm very looking forward to March. I'm already starting off March with a bang. Getting some lines here. It's at the end of the day. What are you? Maybe that's my cue. But thank you guys for watching another one of my videos, and I will see you in the next one.